Right, we're glad to have you back. Now, with every rainy season in Nigeria comes severe cases. This year, the Nigeria Hydrological Agency, NIHSA, says 35 states will experience flooding. The agency made this known during the presentation of its 2018 flood outlooks, projecting that Sokoto, Niger, Benue, Anambra, Niger Delta, Anambra twice, Ogun, Osun, Cross River, and Yobe states would have high risks of river flooding.
Yeah. Now, it also indicated that Lagos, Bayelsa, Rivers, Delta, Ondo states may likely experience coastal flooding. It attributed this to a likely rise in the sea level and tidal surge, which would impact fishing and coastal transportation. Well, we have with us an environmentalist, Ido Salau, joining us now. Ido, good morning. It's nice to see you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, this is not the first time. It seems every year we have these warnings from the agency telling us there's going to be flooding, or likelihood of flooding, and all of that. But it seems nothing really happens until it actually comes.
Yeah. So
what's the difference this year?
You see, we should try to balance the information we want to send out.
All right.
It's a natural occurrence. Every year we have weather forecasts. We are being given awareness by the agency responsible for it. That's a good one. It's better you are informed so that the reason why we are being informed is for you not to be caught unaware. Now, the question we should ask, what has government been doing based on when they hear this information coming from the expert? The problem with Lagos and the riverine state, the coastal state,
yes,
is that the level of the sea to the mainland is very low. I give an example of Lagos. Ikeja is about 300 meters above sea level.
Okay.
Surulere, 270 meters above sea level. Lagos Island, Victoria Island, Ikoyi, Lekki, they are just 50 meters above sea level. You understand what I'm saying?
So they are more susceptible.
Yes, they are more susceptible.
Flood.
Yes.
Okay.
And what we are trying to tell the government of the day is this. Issue of environment, we must take it very seriously. The reason is that when environmental problem or disaster want to happen, it gives no warning.
yes,
And the aftermath of it is what should be our concern. By now, in Lagos, since the occurrence of this major flooding in 2012, 2014, 2016, 2017 last year, the state government is trying to put some institutional arrangement in place. They've divided more the drainage master plan into different zones. And I think we have some major collectors in Lagos. The major collectors are from System 1 to System 6. System 1 is that of Odoyala, which is about 18 kilometers, spanning all the way from the upstream from Ogba up to Oronshoki. I have never seen any activities of widening that river, dredging it, removing the silting it.
yes,
These are major collectors that move the water, the storm water. And if you look at the causes of flooding, one, climate change. And effect of climate means that the ice is melting, causing the water sea level to rise. And if the sea level rises and there is rainfall in the city, there will be a backflow. The water from the storm water that's supposed to follow the systems, the drainage collector, the major drainage collector, that's supposed to go into the ocean, will now be having a backflow effect. And that's what is causing the flash flood that we talk about. Now, another thing I want you to see in the peculiarity of the present flooding in Lagos is that more of solid waste material are now being seen in the city. To tell you that we're having improper waste collection and disposal system.
That's a very, very
that's a good
point that you just bring in, because the question that's been in my head is how much of this flooding really is as a result of natural
occurrence,
yeah. Man-made.
and you know, human factor, man-made.
See, how
much of it
would we score our own of having more of human factors? I give you an example. A drainage channel, somebody is building on a drainage channel, and the town planner or the people giving permit for you to build a house are not doing anything. Or they are putting their eyes on the other side. Why will you allow people to go and build on a drainage channel? That is man-made. Why people, when the waste collectors refuses to go and collect waste, or maybe the instrument of collection is not in their possession for them to do it, you see people hiding the waste in front of their houses. And when flood comes,
it just
put it on
everything into the
drainage. So that is man-made. And the issue of the government too not being proactive in terms of carrying out major environmental infrastructure development. And what I mean that these systems that carry stormwater into our ocean and lagoon,
like the canals,
they should be widened.
Okay.
They should be widened, the silting. These are kind of things that the proactiveness that's supposed to be in place. Then, on the aspect of the government too, there should be, because the causes of flooding and the effect of flooding is massive. Flooding, when it happens, 20% of our infrastructures will be affected. We're talking of road, bridges, this and that. And this is road, bridges that our politicians are showing off that we are constructing bridges, we are doing this. And one environmental disaster, we wash it away if we don't protect it.
And in this case, we've been told that about 35 states will be affected by flooding. Though not as bad as that of 2012, but it will still be bad. 380 local government areas will be seriously affected this time around.
You know the effect of that? If flooding happens in 35 states, I hope Agrarian states are not part of it. There will be food.
You can be sure of that. I mean, 35
out of
36 states in Nigeria.
The problem we're now going to have is that harvesting will be of
food security.
Yes.
Can I tell you something? I went to buy tomatoes yesterday. This is just an aside. Only to hear 1,000 naira for how many balls of tomato? I'm like, are we back in that tomato season again, where tomato is now gold? So this is a major factor. This is something, a negative impact that could result from
the rice aspect. Rice aspect, growing of rice. You know, you need some area with waterlog and this. But if massive flood comes,
it washes
what will happen to the harvesting of the rice? So we have to take issue of environment serious, and flooding is one major thing that if it comes, it erupts.
All right, in all of this, where really is the problem? Does it begin with urban planning or town planning, or
lack of it?
Or lack of it? People are not residing where they're supposed to reside. You know, people where they're supposed to be left as drainage. People are. Is that where really it starts from, no, or is it just climate change?
Urban planning is one of the causes. Right. If you don't have proper urban planning, if people don't adhere to urban planning code, then definitely once you build on a drainage channel, you are causing the free flow and movement of water. So that is one major problem. Another major problem is people obstructing the drainage channel with solid material. And that means if you don't have effective waste collection and disposal system, the result is what you see. We have a problem in the waste collection and disposal system of Lagos right now. And the state is making effort to get it right. But the backlog of waste in the city, when flood comes, it's
going to wash everything into the...
So that is why you see most of the street now, you don't see just ordinary flood water. They come with
plastics and all kinds of things.
And the theme of this year, World Environment Day, is how do we reduce plastic material in the ocean. And because they are looking at it as effect of plastic material on our aquatic animal, is becoming
we heard that
worrisome.
by 2050 there'll be more plastics in the ocean
than even the fishes.
Yeah,
it's true. So these are part of what we are experiencing now. And city manager, city planner are being given a kind of encouragement, that just to encourage them that, see, put more attention in how to reduce waste. You see, the system is this: if you don't produce waste, there is nothing to manage. And I give you an example how to reduce the circulation of plastic. We all know in London, Selfridges, all these supermarkets, they do recyclable material. Their packaging, the plastic is of the one that you can reuse about 10 or 15 times.
And even biodegradable materials.
So what they do is, when you bring it down here to Nigeria, you can see it for about 2-3 years because it's designer. So if you have our stores asking them to concentrate more in maybe producing high-density polyethylene that will be reusable so many times. So more of the waste will be reduced, plastic waste. Then,
or like some countries that have totally scrapped
then there is even another Rwanda, one now, Kenya, you know, that what we call green roads. They are doing green roads now in overseas, where they use the plastic, the pellets from plastic, adding it with some other chemicals and to construct roads. So if we do more of recycling, recovery, and reusing of the plastic material, then we will not have most of it going into the lagoon, into the ocean.
And
so
coming
there are major causes of our flooding.
All right. When it comes to the issue of enlightenment on the part of the people, I wonder how enlightened Nigerians are when it comes to warnings like this from the agency and even the United Nations and all of those who tell us, Nigeria, you are prone to this, or you are, you know, all of those statistics are out there. But how aware are Nigerians about all of these?
Lagos State, if you look at their jingles on once reading season is coming like this, they do carry out their jingles on to enlighten the populace on the issue of how to tidy up their waste, how not to put waste in the tertiary, in the primary drainages in front of their houses, how they enlighten them on how to be careful during the rainy season. So that is part of public enlightenment we're talking about. It should be encouraged even at schools and in public places, and that's what they are trying to do.
Yeah, but when you talk about drainage, it would imply that government has done what it should do on its part, and then you educate and enlighten the people to do what they should. In some areas of Lagos, I mean, you've been talking about Lagos. Lagos, for example, there are many areas that don't even have a drainage system, and where you have drainages, they are open. And people will just, you know, naturally dump their refuse in those. So what should government be doing about those areas? Ajah, for example, there are areas in Ajah where there are no drainages, no gutters at all. And people are building fantastic houses, beautiful houses, and what have you. And you just wonder, how is it possible that a person is allowed to build and you don't even have the gutters first off?
See, it's unfortunate that the state government is being criticized in the issue of levy here, levy there, here and there. And I think the situation is, if they want to really go about putting infrastructure in place for people, they should try to see how they are going to do infrastructural development first, to make sure that everything in the area is, in terms of drainage system, water collectors are being put in place. Now, that is one area they can do. I give you an example in Germany. It has gotten to a state that if the rainwater falls in your roof, some particular city they charge you for harvesting that rainwater in front of your. They measure the area of your building and give you a bill that you're the one distorting the rainfall coming into the. So, but if Lagos introduce something like that now, you see the outcry that will come from.
Well, certainly, so Lagos may not be ripe, or Nigeria may not be ripe.
Improve on infrastructural development to reduce this carnage of effect of.
All right, thank you very much, Idowu Salau, environmentalist, for looking at this with us this morning.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Right.